Good afternoon, I'm Chantal. I'm one of the partners building the PICCA GeoHub, which I'll be presenting today. I'm grateful to be joining you from the traditional territory of Atikameksheng, Anishinaabe, and Wahnapitae First Nation in the Robinson-Huron Treaty Area. Climate change is disproportionately affecting Indigenous people, especially in the north. And so 6 Northern Ontario First Nation councils and Up North on Climate at Laurentian University have come together as PICCA, the Partnership for Indigenous Climate Change Adaptation. The Northern Councils together represent 59 First Nation communities. PICCA's mission is to build a network of knowledgeable climate change adaptation leaders in Indigenous organizations and communities, with the ultimate goal of supporting the development of community-led adaptation projects like this community garden in Fort Albany on the James Bay coast. So one of the resources that we're developing is the PICCA GeoHub. We built a good portion of the GeoHub as part of our previous funding through NRCan's Building Regional Adaptation Capacity and Expertise program. And now we plan to complete it with funding from NRCan's Climate Change Adaptation program. It's a one-stop source of climate change information that weaves together Indigenous and Western knowledge of climate change impacts and adaptation to help Indigenous communities develop adaptation plans. Here's the landing page with information about the GeoHub packaged in a story map. The story map has information about who we are and why we're creating the GeoHub. It includes a map of all the supported communities as well as the partners. It also includes what users will find on the GeoHub and how to use some of the tools, like story maps, dashboards, maps, and interactives. Now back to the GeoHub. Each page from climate to wildfire will look similar, with a story map that guides the user through the available resources, as well as each individual resource linked below for quick access. Each story map will bring together the resources and place-based information in the form of a story to help users make informed adaptation plans. The wildfire story map goes through the importance of fires using visuals to tell the story. It has a lot of local photos to help users identify with the content. Traditional ecological knowledge is fully integrated throughout the hub, including this video of Corny speaking about forest renewal by wildfire.
Even the green jack pine, they were so old, but they're dry. He says, if there's a forest fire, it's going to clean it right off. That's exactly what happened about a few years after he told us that. So we got a big burnt area there now. We got a nice big patch there, a young jack pine.
As the user scrolls down through the quote, they come to an open data map that shows the wildfire that Corny speaks about. The user can click on it to learn more. In this way, we're weaving together traditional and Western knowledge. In the next section, Wildfires in the North, we use map tours to further connect historical open data of area burned with local observations and memories. The user can explore the georeferenced images of wildfire that were shared by other users, and can zoom in to learn more about each wildfire. In Changing Wildfires, we use interactive dashboards of historical wildfires from open data to allow the user to learn more about wildfires near their community through time. The user can interact with the dashboard. They can click on any of the causes in the graph, and that updates the map. They can also zoom in to get a better idea of the fires that have happened near a community. And as they do that, the graphs get updated with the current map scale. Users can also download the data from the data table. In Why the Change, we provide a link to an important outside resource, the Climate Atlas, so users can get climate projection data for their communities. Then visuals to show that drier land, more severe weather, more lightning, and insect damage can all increase wildfire risk. And at the bottom of the section, users can download all the information as a PDF. In What the Future Holds, we use a swipe map of federal projection data to help users easily visualize the changes from the past to the future, in this case for the length of the wildfire season. In Impacts and Adaptations, we include co-developed resources like this Adaptation Quick Guide embedded as an interactive and available for download. The Adaptation Quick Guide allows users to learn more about the impacts of climate change, as well as some adaptation ideas by clicking on the people in the community. Ideas like managing trees and plants and monitoring wildfire risk. Continuing in Impact and Adaptations, we discuss how people can protect themselves by preparing an emergency plan, preventing human-caused fires, monitoring current wildfire risk and air quality, and taking care of mental health. We also talk about protecting infrastructure by building with fire-resistant materials, managing vegetation, having fire guards around communities and controlled burns, as well as becoming a fire-smart community. Back to the hub. All the pages from drought across to transportation are at various stages of development using the wildfire page as a template. The Contribute page allows users to share their climate stories and adaptations, which helps us to continue to build the Indigenous and observation-based content of the PICCA GeoHub. Users can interact with the photos which are geo-referenced on the map and read climate stories like this slump along the Severn River. The Word Guide offers explanations of 101 climate change words along with visuals like adaptation, the greenhouse effect, and peat. Now the other part of our project is Microcredentials. With the content of the GeoHub, which acts as a living textbook, we will create online microcredentials, which learners will be able to access here. The microcredentials will be hosted on Laurentians' Desire to Learn online learning platform. Learners will be guided through the PICCA GeoHub materials and will apply resources to their own community. This will allow them to develop skills in assessing and reducing climate change risk and creating adaptation plans for enhancing community well-being. The GeoHub and microcredentials offer inclusive, flexible online learning. To ensure engagement of community learners, especially to honor Indigenous peoples' oral traditions, the microcredentials are narrative-based, while self-paced modules and structured monitored forums support varied learning styles. A learner can take one or many of the microcredentials. The target learner for the microcredentials include Northern and Indigenous communities and those that work in community, like teachers, or infrastructure leads who might want to take transportation, infrastructure, and flooding microcredentials. Or mining advisors and land use planners who might want to take wildfire, ecosystem, and drought microcredentials. Or healthcare workers who might want to take food security and health microcredentials. And someone whose job would be to help community to prepare for climate change may take all of them as a stacked microcredentials or a full course. This is the team currently working on the GeoHub and the microcredentials. It includes our team at Up North on Climate, myself, David, Kim, and Cass, and a climate change specialist in each council, except for Shibogama at the moment. So Geneva from Grand Council Treaty 3, Megan from Nokiwin, Jasmine from Matawa, Michael from Kuwaitinuk Okimakanak, and Roxanne from Mishkigwak are all integral to everything we're doing. But our team extends well beyond our current members, with over 60 people that have shared their time and knowledge and contributed to climate adaptation in the North. Miigwech to them all.